Hello, my name is Walter Wimberly and I'm an assistant professor of computer science. And I'm answering questions that a lot of people have either as they're coming into a computer science program or they're starting off with it. And so I want to answer the next question that I get a lot. And that question is, do I need my own personal laptop? And the answer is most likely yes. Okay. Is there a difference realistically between a desktop and a laptop? If you want one of those, then you can pick either one. The question will be, do you want to take your laptop to class, to take notes, to work on practice samples, maybe in a lab, instead of having to move stuff between a school lab computer and your own computer? That's up to you. Most colleges nowadays have a reasonable expectation that a large number of their students will come with a laptop. And so I recommend having a laptop or maybe a desktop computer if you prefer that. Other people I see and I've used personally myself is a laptop with a plug-in. When I get back to my desk, I can plug in a bigger monitor so I can see a little bit more and be more efficient that way. But you definitely need to have your own computer. Now, a lot of schools do have labs, yes. However, I find that they don't necessarily have all the software installed for a specific major. They'll have general software installed, such as Microsoft Office or a similar type of suite of tools. And maybe you can log in to do some things on a server remotely, but being able to work on your own computer, I find, is just a little bit easier. And computers nowadays aren't too expensive. However, and this is a big caveat, I do not recommend a Chromebook. Okay? And Chromebooks come in all different forms. Different companies make them. The idea is you want to make sure that you can install software on your own machine, whether that's going to be compilers or IDEs. Personally, I recommend and I use in my own classes things like Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. I look at other tools like Eclipse, and I want you to be able to install them. Now, a lot of people will say, especially old-time CS majors and professors will say, well, you should be able to do everything on a command line through a logged-in server. And yes, you should be able to. However, however, almost no one does that in the industry. If you go and you walk into a standard business that is doing software development, everyone has their own computer, they have their own IDE, and they're using the tools and features of that IDE to improve their debugging skills, to improve their code conformance and performance. They use different types of tools to share code with other people, whether it's something like Team Foundation Services or Git or even SVN. Okay? There's lots of tools and lots of reasons to use an IDE. And so I encourage that in the classroom. I use it myself, I demonstrate it, and I show how to use it so that you're better prepared when you get out of school. So do you need a laptop? Almost definitely. Does it have to be a super high-end performance laptop? Almost not definitely. I do like to have what I find to be the mid-tier or better. And basically, if you look at whether it's a Macintosh or a Windows laptop, you'll find that there's a certain point where you can get a lot of performance updates and enhancements and the prices stay about the same. And then there's a point where to go just a little bit faster, have just a little bit more RAM or a little bit more storage space, the price jumps a lot. I get right before that point. Typically when I buy my own computers, I don't need the latest and greatest next gen computer, but I do want something modern and current. And if you couldn't tell from what I just mentioned before, is it better to have a Apple Macintosh or a Windows-based laptop? The answer is it really doesn't matter anymore. Most common tools out there are available for both, whether it's something like Eclipse, which is an open source software IDE, or something like Visual Studio Code from Microsoft. They both work on Macintosh and on Windows. I do recommend that you use probably what your professors use, because if you have specific questions, they'll probably be able to answer them a little bit better. Personally, I use Windows, and so if you bring me a Mac specific question, I'm not going to know the answer to it necessarily. Now, I've learned a lot from helping my students over the years, but if you want to be ensure that you're getting the right thing, check and see what your professors are going to be using. Just a helpful little hint out there. If you have any other questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments section or reach out to me, and I'll try to take the comments that I see most often and turn them into short videos to help you prepare for your degree program in computer science. Thank you.